Hello and welcome. If you're wondering what we're doing here tonight, I kind of wanted to roll back into the old kind of consoles and games that I have and kind of go over the little memories that I've accrued over the years and hopefully share them with you guys. Maybe you guys can sit back, relax, and maybe have or remember some memories of your own. Other than that, we're just going to be kind of going through apps and stuff. Nothing really specific. Right now, it's just kind of going over the Wii, which I'm pretty sure most people had in their childhood. I think most people at least have one or two memories of their Wii throughout their lifetime. And if you do, I'm happy for you. You know, the Wii was a great console coming out like late 2000s, Um, I remember getting my first Wii and I remember it was like Christmas Day. I'll probably get it more into that in just a second, but yeah, I mean, it was just an overall great console to get as a kid. There's so many cool games, especially like Pokemon, Mario Galaxy, stuff like that. And yeah, the Wii is a great console. I think everybody knows that. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of go over whatever's on my screen right now, go on to the next side, see what's there, kind of just talk about things if I have anything for them. For most of them, I didn't really look at them. I didn't really check them out. I didn't really use them. In any case, they weren't really practical for using when I was a kid because I didn't know how to use half the shit that's on my screen. But for now, let's just kind of go over some of this stuff. Forecast, I can't say I have memories of this. If you do, you're kind of a weird person. But hey, I don't mind that. I don't care. But no, I don't know. Personally, I never really used this. I didn't know anybody who would. As a kid, maybe sometimes I was kind of like, I wanted to know what the weather was going to be like tomorrow. And I did maybe try once or twice to even do the weather news. But I know to set it up, it was very complicated. If I remember correctly, it was just kind of like you had to subscribe to something. You kind of had to have an account for something, if I remember correctly. If not, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I just remember it being super complicated, and I was just like, I don't need to know the weather that bad. I'll raw dog the weather tomorrow. Other than that, I mean, forecast channel, not really a used channel, especially the internet channel. This thing was just, I don't know. Like I said, though, these jingles are great. But yeah, internet channel, same deal. I didn't really use it. I never went into it. I don't even know what it looks when you go into this. I kind of want to look at it. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll probably do that at another time. Just going through all these apps, it's kind of like, I think like 90% of them don't work either way, so it's kind of alright if I don't check them out. But yeah, internet channel, same ordeal. Never used the internet on the Wii. It was more or less a thing that I did on the DS. Search up some of those animation stuff that you would get on the DSi and stuff like that, and you can like look at little videos on them and stuff like that. But that was the only thing for the DS. Other than that, the Wii wasn't really something I used the internet on, and including this, YouTube and Netflix are the two same deals. I mean, YouTube, we can appreciate the old jingle and the old logo. I think everybody misses when YouTube was like this. I'm sure you can think of a great time when YouTube was around here. I mean, I know that 2010 was a lot of hell for people, but at the same time, you gotta agree, it was a great time for innovation. It was a great time for these types of things, especially since it was growing. It was something new. For me, I was a kid at the time, so all this was very cool to me. YouTube and Netflix. There's a lot of different things. I didn't know how to really get into it and stuff like that, but I mean, YouTube, I did have an account when I was small. Of course, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Sky Does Minecraft, Obuscus, Syndicate, all that good stuff that you watch as a little kid. But I don't know. YouTube on the Wii, it wasn't something I used at all. I don't think a lot of people use this. If you did, you're kind of odd for this. But at the same time, I can see it being practical if you want to watch YouTube on your TV or even Netflix. I can see it being a practical use if you don't have anything else like a PS3 or something. So I understand if you use this. I get it if it was a centerpiece in your home and stuff like that. I mean, the PS3 was used like as a media player, if anything, and that was kind of normalized, especially for the PS2 and the PS3, since it could play like movies and stuff, and it was kind of a little bit normalized, if anything. Other than that, I mean, YouTube, classic. You gotta enjoy it. It's very sad. I'll actually go into it. I did do multiple recordings of this. I didn't really know how to go about this, so if I am spewing words and I'm not really like grasping anything, I apologize. It's very hard to think on the spot, but Yeah, I don't know. YouTube unable to enter. Of course, you're gonna get you're gonna get these errors and stuff all the time, but very sad. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, our old YouTube. We'll never get it back again. Remember YouTube Rewind style? I'm sorry. I'll I'll leave. I don't even know what I would leave that for, but if you remember YouTube Rewind, I mean, dude, 2012, 2013, YouTube Rewind was insane. But yeah, Netflix. I do kind of have like a little memory of Netflix. Uh, from what I remember it being just like a kind of place you could watch like the best movies. It was actually like regarded as one of the highest things. It was actually regarded as one of the things to watch like the best movies at the time, and I mean, it was primarily more for mature audiences. I feel like it still kind of is. But I remember being like a kid and kind of all my cousins, since I'm from a big family, I have tons of cousins, and they're all older than me. So I remember around that time, they would kind of like, no, go away. They would like push me out the door, and they would kind of take the Wii, or they would have it in the living room and put up Netflix and kind of just ignore me the whole time. So they would kind of watch movies like Zombieland. I remember one Christmas, I was with my cousin, and all the other cousins were there and stuff, but they were in my house at the time, trailer house, and they were putting on Netflix and they watched Zombieland, and I remember kind of watching it, and I was like, this is a funny movie, and I that's what kind of made it that movie into a classic for me. But yeah, I remember Netflix just kind of being like the place that, the older kids would watch their movies, and there's a lot of crazy movies, like I said, like Zombieland, the old Jackass movies and stuff like that. So Netflix was a great time in the early 2000s from what I remember, but I never personally used it. But I remember my brother would use this. My brother and everybody else would kind of use this on the Wii. So, I can see the practicality on this one, but it's very cool. It's very cool to see, like, I guess the old logo, if you can even call it that. But yeah, a little bit of a classic. Crunchyroll, I'm gonna kind of skip it. It's just Crunchyroll. It's the same thing. I don't really find it nostalgic in any means, but it's the same thing as YouTube and the other stuff. Now, here's where it gets kind of funny. I have the modded stuff over here, so I apologize if you see that and go, "You're not a true fan." 'Cause, well, like I like the Wii. I like its the whole thing, but I just have it there so I can use it for my games and I can record for you guys. But yeah, um, of course, We Fit Plus. Oh my god, Pokemon Rumble. I will say now, I've played so much Pokemon Rumble. That is loud. I apologize if that's super loud on your end, but uh, Pokemon Rumble is a game that I've wanted probably half my life. And I remember, because we only have the demo, right, as you can see, and I remember just kind of going into it, and like I'm like, oh, I want to play this so bad. I want to buy this. I want to buy this. And I don't know who downloaded this. Probably my brother. My brother probably downloaded it, but I just kind of played it so much, and I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to buy it eventually. And eventually, I would love to play a little bit more, but I don't know. I always found it cool. The demo of this game is very cool. So yeah, I don't know. Fun little memory for me. I just remember booting this up, and then every time it would like kick me out, I was just like, oh, mom, please buy me the game. I don't know. I don't remember asking for it either. I don't remember being like, can you buy this? I maybe once, and I was told no, and I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. So the news channel, kind of, I can kind of remember this. Of course, can't use it. No internet, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I went in and out. I can kind of remember a little memory from this. I never really got into the news. I am still not into the news. Being 20 years old, I'm still not into the whole news stuff. And but a little memory about the news when I was a kid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start a lot of this with when I was a kid. So I apologize for that. But before school and all that, I remember you had to like get ready. Of course, my mom would go wake us up. She would just turn on the light, and it would just blind us. But before that, of course, you'd start getting ready and stuff, but she would get really mad at us because we would kind of make her late because we would watch cartoons and stuff, because eventually the news kind of became this thing that a replacement for cartoons, because it was the only thing that was kind of on throughout the whole house. My parents would turn on the TV, keep the news on, and that was the only thing like I could watch at the time. Since I was small, I was just kind of like, it's my TV time. It's the only time I can watch TV before I go to school and have another day of hell, right? So the whole time, like, you would get ready and she would just kind of be mad, like, you guys just making me late, you guys take forever to get ready. So she just completely said, like, no, you're not watching cartoons. But she would have the news on all the time, and yeah, I would just kind of go and just watch, even though I didn't really understand it. And I remember during like winter time and stuff, I would kind of look at the section where they would be like, oh, you know, these schools are closed for the day and stuff. And no, it would just never happen for my school because, of course, when you live in South Texas, it's not gonna fucking happen, right? Like, it doesn't rain here, it doesn't snow here, it's not, barely gets cold. So I would kind of hope like maybe they would close down my school or whatever, but it never happened. Other than that, it's just kind of a little memory. That's more of just kind of like news, not really for the Wii, but yeah, news, not really connected to this whole thing. Everything else, like Nintendo channel, check me out channel, stuff like that, of course, I didn't really touch, especially if these, since these two are like in the back, these two were just never used. You can delete this channel. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. We plus internet, get connected. I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. I never used it, of course, but I feel like by the time I got the Wii, most of the online services were already just kind of like, yeah, we're not really gonna use this. Wii Shop channel, of course, I didn't really use it. Of course, I didn't use a lot of these things. I apologize for that, but we usually just bought our games physically, and that was the normality in our household. Buying physical discs and games and stuff were the huge. Buying online, we kind of understood that if you bought a game, you kind of you have the chance of losing it if the console goes bad or whatever the case is. So we kind of understood that, but in general, we would mostly buy discounted games. So buying stuff online wasn't really affordable at the time, so we wouldn't really do it. Most of our games were really just discounted games we'd get from GameStop, which we had in our town, and then they got rid of it, sadly. They kind of closed down. But yeah, the whole time, this was just kind of sitting here. We never bought anything, and I was kind of sad because I know the Wii Shop channel did end up doing like promotions of giving out free games and all that good stuff, but I never really took the chance. I never pounced on that because I never really understood that. I never really saw it. I never really heard about it, so it wasn't something that I did, or neither my brother. My brother never really played the Wii. It was mainly me and my cousin, but my cousin even then played different things. But it was mainly me on this Wii, so everything you see is mainly me, and I never really did a lot. But other than that, Wii Shop channel, not the biggest deal for me. Now, the folder channel, also another thing, didn't really touch, but from what I understand, there are 2 photos in here, and we're gonna look at them. I was kind of hoping going into this there was different ones. By the way, that is fucking sweet that you could take out like the SD cards and just put them into the Wii and check out your photos. That is super cool to me. I don't know. I guess that's another way of keeping your photos if you wanted to back then. And look at that. The old logo is just an actual phone and an actual camera. Nowadays that wouldn't be possible, but God, that is crazy. But apparently this checks your whole message board, which we're going to get into, which is technically like the calendar. And this is the whole reason I kind of did this. But I'll get into that. But look at this. 6/29/2010. So this was during June, July, probably. And I like the music that comes with it. But we did have Mario Kart. This isn't me. I don't think this is my brother, but it's either one of my cousins or my brother. And yeah, 2010, that is 14 years ago, which is sad to think about. That is a very sad thing to think about. Time has moved so fast and things have changed so drastically, so it's a really sad, sweet, and bitter thing to think about. But no, 2010, good memory, good little photos. I kind of wish I took more photos on this thing, but honestly, it wasn't just like it wasn't a thing we did, apparently. So yeah, I guess unfortunately we're not gonna get too into that. But so I'll probably get into this one on a separate time because I feel like there's a lot to this. But those are some of the me's that I have on this Wii, which is my family. And yeah, no, look at that, man. By the way, this is the only time where you can see your little dog. I don't know what that dog's name is, and I want to see so bad, but I'll get into this another time just because it's very specific, and Yeah, 2007 through 2009 is when the Wii Fit Plus. And the biggest memory I have about this, since we did live in a trailer house, as I mentioned, having the Wii Fit board and the Wii Fit channel and stuff like that, and doing the actual game is like just walking normally, you would hear the stomps of everybody, but running and jumping wasn't the best idea, especially if you're playing like the Wii pretty late into the night. So my parents would get so mad if you used this like later in the night or at all, to be honest, because it would shake the whole house. You know, you would hear boom, boom, boom. So it wasn't the most practical thing to use, especially in that kind of environment. But I did use it. The biggest memory, of course, like I said, was it just calling me obese. It was just like, dude, you're fucking fat, and that was true. As a kid, I was humongous. I was a ball. But yeah, that's pretty funny. I think everybody had that experience of it just calling you obese, or either obese or super skinny. But God, look at this. This is great. But I'll get into this whole thing. I'll probably want to play this again eventually. It's something that's a very cool idea. So now that we kind of went over that, I guess I'll get into the Mii's, and then I have one final thing to check for the Wii, because there's not a lot, but the Mii channel. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. The amount of people who kind of live through the Mii channel is kind of crazy. It's actually an insane thing to think about. There are so many people who are either still alive and just kind of living in the Mii channel, but there's also a lot of deceased people who are actually kind of live on through the Mii channel. You kind of go back and you're like, oh, I remember they made their character and stuff. And I'll get a little bit more into that when I get into the calendar, which I'll explain all that. But yeah, the Mii channel, it's a great little thing to look at. So let's go into it. Actually, I want to get into the Mii channel because there's just a lot of cool features to it, and I'm sure everybody's done a Mii or two, if not on your Wii, maybe your ex's Wii, probably. But look at these little guys. Let's corral you. Look at that. This is so cool. I feel like this is a little bit ahead of their time. Transfer Mii's, Mii Parade. I never did this too often. I never really look at this. Look at them go. Oh my god. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Is that me? Why is that me? Oh, do they put like random stuff on you? I'm sorry. This is meant to be like going back on memories, but this is so funny. I don't know. That is pretty funny. I need to corral you guys again. Could blue. We friend. What is this? Oh, okay. I guess you can add people as friends. I didn't know about that. I really did not know you could add people as friends on this. Gender, color. This is just to like order them up and see like how you can talk to them and stuff. I guess let's just take a look at all this. So I'm gonna probably blur out some of the names just because, you know, they are my family. I don't want to like dox their names and stuff like that. I'll go over the ones that are not like, they don't really say their names too much. But this is my mother, of course. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I remember around the time when we did this, she did do this. This is one of my cousins. I don't remember if he did this. I think me or my brother made one for him, but I don't think he ever did it physically for himself. This one's actually really funny because if you don't know, I'm Mexican, and the way we say grandma in Spanish is abuela. But the thing is, when you say abuela, all you hear is huela. But at the same time, we would always call my grandma huela, huela. We would call her huela. So I guess we just kind of put her Mii as huela because we didn't know how to I guess we didn't know how to spell it at the time, but we probably just found it really funny. But we made one for my grandma at the time, which is honestly, it's kind of cute. It's very cute to me, but that is very nice. That is very funny to me. And then we have kind of like carbon copies here. Another one of my cousins. I'm gonna have a lot of my cousins. Most of my cousins are gonna be on here. But it's funny. This is another funny thing. It kind of shows the age range that we were in around this time, because we not only misspelled my grandma's name, but we misspelled his. I think he was there at the time, so he may have misspelled his own name, but I'm not too sure. Maybe that's how you spell his name. I don't think it is, but maybe he misspelled it at the time, and it's really funny, as well as my other cousin misspelled his name as well. So it's really, really funny. Joshua. But God, I don't know who was doing the spelling, but God, were they horrible at it. Same old, same old. These are just kind of funny to look at. This one's also misspelled. Someone was just on a streak of misspelling all these names, but that's great. And then there's me, of course. There I am. I don't look anything like this. Maybe now. Maybe I do kind of look like this now, but I did not look like this as a kid. This was far from what I looked like as a kid. But maybe I look like this now. And then there's my dad, which is really funny. I don't know why we made him like this. I don't know why we gave him glasses. He doesn't wear glasses. But I think we were trying to be like, oh, he wears sunglasses like when he fishes and he goes out and stuff. So I guess we just kind of gave him sunglasses for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. It's this. I don't know. This whole thing is funny. I like this, but other than that, I mean, just making new me's are pretty great. I never really do them too often, but yeah, me characters. What a good time. What a good time to spend your night or your Christmas morning when you got this, which kind of relates to me. But yeah, this was a great feature to look back on. Honestly, it puts a smile on my face to kind of just like think about the times we were doing this and how small we were and what we were doing at the time. But yeah, great thing to look at. Now, for the last thing, this is the main thing that I wanted to do, and it kind of pushed me to do all this in this whole video because it was just so cool to me. And yeah, I don't know, looking through it is actually just, it makes me giddy just because it kind of records everything for you. So if you want to follow along for this step and you kind of want to look back on your memories, you're welcome to do that. I don't know if everybody knows this, that you can do this, but maybe I'm just stupid. I don't think everybody knows how to do this, but I'm gonna assume everybody doesn't. But yeah, so if we actually just go here where this annoying letter pops up every time you fucking play something, you can actually go to the calendar. Everybody knows about this, I'm sure. And you actually use it to do modding. So, but the cool thing is you can actually go super far back and you can look at like the first time you got the Wii and it tells you like, oh, you did this. So let me go back right now. It's gonna take a while because I have to just do that a bunch, but I'll cut to when I get there. All right, I finally got here, but yeah, I got all the way back to December 2009. That is the earliest date I've had this, and of course, as you can see where it started on, and you can kind of see where it continued on. But yeah, this whole thing started on the probably the 24th. I probably got it the night before. Or something, but yeah, I don't know. This is super cool that it keeps tab all the way back if you have your original Wii. So if you still have it, by all means, go and check your memories. It's probably still there. Biggest thing I can tell you, like, look at this. So on this day, we ended up playing Mario Super Sluggers, Mario Kart Wii, Big Game Hunter. So we already had a good amount of games at this point. I mean, we got probably a whole package deal. My mom probably got a bunch of games for it and stuff at this point. But yeah, look at that. Wii Sports debut, my mom. 2009, Friday, 8:27 a.m. God, I mean, it's so cool seeing this. Like, this was like the beginning of all this. I mean, we're barely getting into all this stuff. So I don't know. So yeah, around this time, the thing that I can remember was, of course, every 25th through at least like New Year's and stuff, we would always just hang out with our family, do family reunions, not more like just like we would get together with our family and cook food, just hang out for Christmas, maybe do some games and stuff like that. But yeah, on this specific date, the way I got my Wii, and I'll see if I can find some pictures of maybe me opening up the Wii or taking a picture with the Wii or whatever. So as for the whole memory of this, like getting the Wii, from what I can put together in my mind was, I remember it was like late in the afternoon and stuff, and what ended up happening was we opened up our presents and all that good stuff, and we were like, oh, it's so cool, we got all this, we got this. And I was just kind of like, man, it's kind of light in Christmas presents this year. I know, not to be a little asshole or anything like that, but I was just kind of like, man, it's a little light this year, right? And eventually we ended up like hearing like a knock at the door, but at the same time there was like a lot of stuff going on. It was a little hectic. We had our cousins over, which lived right next to us, and um it was kind of like getting hectic, and I'm sure they knew this was kind of for more like me, because at the time, of course, I believed in Santa. Maybe they didn't believe in Santa. Maybe they knew that Santa wasn't real at the point. I mean, if a kid's watching this, Santa's real. But yeah, I remember it was just kind of like hectic and stuff, and then all I hear is like a knock at the door, and I'm like, what? What's going on? And they open the door, and I get like put on this act for us, and they're like, oh, it's Santa Claus. And so or no, they knocked on the door, and I don't really remember if one of my cousins who's actually dressed up as Santa Claus came in with the Wii, but I think what they did was have my cousin go around back with the Wii box and knock on the front door, put put the Wii there, and then kind of go back. And so when we heard the knocking, we opened the door and we're like, "What? Santa's left us a Wii. He stopped by," and we're like going insane and stuff. And I just remember like, "Oh, Santa's real," and it's like he left us a Wii, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" It was one of the funniest moments ever. Now that I think about it, like, of course you're thinking about it as a kid and stuff, like, "Oh, you're so stupid," like, but it is super cute, and it was like, that's really cool to think back on that, and that was a really good memory. And we were just super excited, so we ended up setting it up and stuff. I don't really remember other than just kind of doing the Mii's and stuff during around that time. We did have a lot of people. We did have a lot of people when we got the Wii, so we had a lot of people at our house and stuff, and they were just kind of like, some of them were sleeping there, some of them were just there to just chill out and hang out with us. So we were just kind of doing me characters, maybe playing a little bit of Mario Super Sluggers or something that we had. Probably Mario Kart. Mario Kart was probably the game that came with this, so that was probably one of the first things we ended up playing. But that is one of the like sweetest memories I have around this time, for all of this. But yeah, as you can see, I played a shit ton. I played so much. I was playing Wii Sports. Wii Sports was a huge game for us. Wii Fit, because I think we got the Wii Fit. Because I think we got the Wii Fit board and stuff, but I loved Mario Super Sluggers. It was the thing that I played the most. But I'm very surprised that we had like all these games. I mean, of course, Wii Sports came with it. Mario Kart, of course. But I don't remember having like Big Game Hunter or Mario Super Sluggers. But I think my dad probably bought the Big Game Hunter and all that good stuff. But yeah, as you can see, like there's different people playing. Like this was another of my cousins playing, and they were doing Wii Sports, so they were probably over at the time. This was the 27th, and they probably stayed with us till like all the way till New Year's and just kind of hung out, quote unquote. But they're just there just to use the Wii. But yeah, this is like, I find this the coolest. Even on New Year's we were playing. I probably played for a bit, or my cousin played for a bit for some reason on New Year's early on. So that was like 2010 at that point. It happened during 2010. Oh man, it's so cool just looking at all of this. And then we didn't end up playing for another while. We didn't even play at this point. Or no, we did. Oh, at this time we got, like, look at this. Get connected video, Wii Shop channel. We're just looking at things. Pokemon Rumble demo. Oh my god. That is so cool. Pokemon Rumble demo. I think what did end up happening was we did get like all these games, but I think it replaced everything we got as what do you call it, as Christmas gifts. I think they just kind of like wrapped them all, and then we were opening them. We're like, but we don't have a Wii. If I'm like kind of getting a flashback of it, I remember opening it up and kind of being like, but we don't have a Wii. Like, how are we gonna play that? Are we gonna have to wait to get a Wii? So, I mean, while it did kind of like, what? Like, it did kind of like, are we getting a Wii? But at the same time, as a kid, you're kind of like, kind of gullible at the fact that you're like, well, we don't have a Wii yet, so this is kind of worthless to me. But it's cool. It's cool to have these games. So that's probably what they did. They probably ended up wrapping all these Christmas gifts. I'll have to ask my parents about it, but they probably don't really remember. And I would ask my brother too, but I do not think he would remember either. And so Christmas comes and goes, and of course, we don't play through April. At that point, school's back. March, school's back. Maybe we played a little bit at this time for some odd reason. Maybe during the like right after I started playing a little bit more. For some reason, we did not play through all of February. For some odd reason, but funny enough, funny little thing. When you do get to the times we did play during school time, it was usually during like the middle of. Oh, look at this! Look at one of the little memories. Oh my god, one of the little things. But yeah, if we go to a time when we're like in school and stuff, which is probably starting August at this point, uh, we mostly played. We didn't play a lot. I mean, as much as I love the Wii, we weren't like always on the Wii, especially because we had other things like we had the PS3, the PS2, and all that good stuff. So we were playing different things throughout this time. So all this just wasn't, it wasn't the main thing. But look, if we look at September, it shows when we played a little bit more. But at the same time, school times here. I'm playing during the week, Saturday, Sunday. Didn't really get to play during the days because I mean at this point you had shit tons of homework. You were going to school. School was pretty hell for me at this point, and I absolutely hated it. But no, yeah, I don't know. It's probably not the greatest thing to see for the Wii, and there's probably other people with way better memories. But at this point, that's probably all I can really show you. There's not really much else I can really get into, but for now, that's really all there is to show off. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this, I guess, rollback of memories, as I said. And yeah, that's really all I have for you for now. And if you enjoyed, I mean, hopefully you can stay for my other stuff. I do a lot of this kind of thing for Let's Plays, streams, and all that. And we just kind of play a little bit of those retro games and kind of enjoy ourselves. So if you want, you can leave a like, you can subscribe, and maybe stay with me for some more Remembrance. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.